Alex Bowman just confirmed his return and fans are stunned. Alex Bowman's body gave up on him mid-race and he had to stop driving. Doctors kept him out for 6 weeks. Now he is back. And his first race back is Bristol, the roughest track in NASCAR, the one track that could expose everything. So, is Alex Bowman truly healed, or is Bristol about to break him all over again? Bristol Motor Speedway is not a place that eases anyone back into racing. It is a half-mile concrete bowl with 28-degree banking on the turns. Cars run inches apart. The walls are close. The speeds are violent. Drivers describe Bristol as the most physically brutal short track in the sport. Your neck takes a beating every single lap. Your inner ear is working overtime just to keep your head level through the corners. Now think about what Alex Bowman was just cleared from. Vertigo. A condition that attacks your balance system. A condition that makes the world spin when you are standing still. A condition that knocked Bowman out of his own race car at Circuit of the Americas on March 1st at lap 71 of 95. He did not crash. He did not break down. He pulled into the garage, got out, and handed the keys to Myatt Snyder because he physically could not keep driving. Doctors then ruled him out for Phoenix, for Las Vegas, for Darlington, for Martinsville. 4 full Cup Series races, gone. Here is where it gets wild. The 2026 season had already been rough before the vertigo even started. Bowman finished 40th at the Daytona 500. He posted a 23rd at Echo Park Speedway. Then, COTA gave him a DNF 36th when the symptoms hit. 3 races in, and his season was already in deep trouble. Then, the diagnosis made everything worse. So while Bowman sat at home, Hendrick Motorsports had to find people willing to get into the number 48 Alley Chevrolet and hold down the fort. Anthony Alfredo drew Phoenix. He finished 33rd after getting collected in a late race crash. Justin Allgaier then took over for 3 straight weekends: Las Vegas, Darlington, Martinsville. His best result across all 3 was a 22nd at Martinsville. That was the best the number 48 could manage in 4 races without Bowman. That number matters, because Bowman right now sits 36th in Cup Series points. 36th. With the playoff cutoff at 16th, Bowman is not just playing catch-up. He is in a full sprint against math that is already closing in on him. Every race he sits out is a race where other drivers bank points. Every race he runs badly is another step toward watching the playoffs from a couch. Bristol cannot be a survival weekend. It has to be more than that. Remember that 36th place points position. Keep that number in your head as this gets worse before it gets better. Now here is something worth understanding. The medical clearance process for a condition like vertigo is not a simple green light moment. It is methodical. Hendrick Motorsports made sure of that. On Tuesday, just days before Bristol weekend, Bowman climbed into a streetcar and turned laps at 10/10 Motor Club, a road course in Concord, North Carolina. No cup car, no 150-mile-per-hour speeds, just real laps in a real vehicle to see how his body handled it. He passed. On Wednesday, he did pit stop practice. He went through simulator testing. Then he sat through a full medical evaluation. At the end of that day, the team confirmed he was cleared with 0 restrictions, not cleared with conditions, not cleared for limited mileage, cleared completely. Jeff Andrews, the president and general manager of Hendrick Motorsports, said Bowman followed the medical team's plan every step of the way, and that the team's goal from day one was to bring him back only when he was fully recovered. Not partially, fully. Bowman himself said the same thing. He acknowledged it has been hard being out of the car, but that being 100% was the only acceptable standard before returning. That mindset matters. Because what Bowman is about to walk into at Bristol is not a gentle warm-up race. Bristol's concrete surface creates more grip than asphalt. That sounds like a good thing until you realize that more grip means harder impacts on the body through every corner. The G-forces at Bristol do not let up. For 500 laps on a half-mile track, drivers absorb constant lateral force. Their necks are torqued. Their equilibrium is tested on every single lap. For a driver coming back from a balance disorder, this is the hardest possible environment to prove you are healthy. And yet here is the thing that no one in the garage wants to say out loud. Bowman actually has a history at Bristol worth respecting. He is an 8-time Cup Series winner. He has survived this track before. He knows what the concrete demands. He knows where the walls are. He knows how to manage his body through 500 laps when everything is working right. The question is whether everything is working right after 6 weeks away. 8 wins in his career, 36th in points right now. That gap between who Bowman is and where he currently sits is exactly why Bristol is not a race. It is a statement. The Hendrick Motorsports angle here is also bigger than just one driver coming back from injury. This is a 4-car organization. William Byron, Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, and Bowman all run under the same roof with shared resources. When one car bleeds points for 6 weeks, it affects how the team allocates attention, strategy, and focus across the lineup. The number 48 running backup drivers at Phoenix, Las Vegas, Darlington, and Martinsville was not ideal for anyone at HMS. Getting Bowman back is not just good for Bowman, it stabilizes the entire program. But here is the cliffhanger that no one can answer yet. Bowman turned laps at a road course in a street car. He did simulator runs. He did pit practice. None of that is Bristol. None of that is 500 laps of concrete at race pace with 39 other Cup cars running inches away. None of that is the specific combination of speed, G-force, and sensory overload that Bristol Motor Speedway produces every single Sunday it hosts a race. The medical team cleared him. The simulator said he was ready. The road course said his balance held. But the real test has no simulation. It happens Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern on FS1 and HBO Max. If Bowman gets out front and holds it together for 500 laps, the story writes itself. Comeback, redemption, proof that the vertigo is behind him, points back on the board, momentum restored at exactly the right moment. If the symptoms return at 150 miles per hour on one of the most punishing tracks in the sport, the story becomes something much darker, and the playoff math goes from difficult to nearly impossible. That is the weight sitting on the number 48 this weekend. Not just a return from injury, not just a regular Sunday race, a driver who built his reputation over 9 seasons with Hendrick Motorsports, who earned 8 wins, who has been one of the more consistent pieces of that program for years, is walking back into the most demanding environment in NASCAR after the scariest health scare of his career. 36th in points, 0 restrictions on his clearance, Bristol Motor Speedway on Sunday. This is the race that tells everyone whether Alex Bowman's 2026 season can still be saved. And that right there is why this weekend is different. It is not about whether he starts, it is about whether he finishes, and whether he ever has to pull a Cup car into the garage again because his own body said no.
Now officially a part of the 2024 playoffs, Alex Bowman.